So I actually logged out and I was trying to go live separately to make sure my mic works.
Yep.
And it was like, your mic's not on because another app is using it. And I'm like, why would I be on another app? So,
Hey, thanks for fighting through that, and thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. I know
You
this
bet.
show's
You
bearing
bet.
down on
Well,
you.
thanks for helping out and having our back. We appreciate that.
Kyle,
yeah,
you
so
the man?
guys, I figured it out. I know how to go TikTok live now.
Yes! New skills unlocked.
Way cool. Way cool.
Skill acquired.
Right. Hey, man, I know this is coming down to crunch time, so I super appreciate you carving out a little bit of time for us tonight. I know the show's got to be pulling you in a lot of directions, so thanks again, man.
Yeah, no problem. Gonna enjoy it. The show is coming up in 16 days, so it's exciting stuff.
It is. Yes. You know, about that show, man, I've been curious about what's been the biggest challenge getting the whole thing together off the ground? I mean, is it the venue, the insurance? What was the hardest part?
I'll be honest, everything went pretty smoothly. I was talking to another show promoter and he was like, oh, you just learn along the way. And everything's gone smoothly other than the fact that there's another show stacked on the same weekend as us. So that makes it more challenging. So as my friend Daniel would say, we're basically starting off our first show in the hardest, most difficult way possible.
Really?
And then it just gets easier from here, right?
Right.
So how many vendors do you have lined up so far? I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a big event.
Yeah, we have 122 vendors currently signed up. It's going to be huge. If you're thinking for any first show to get 100+ vendors, and if I just rattle off like the names of the vendors, especially in the ball python world, right?
Right.
You know, you got Canova, Kittinger, Cord DeLong, Chad Holker, myself, Josh from Ball Python Shed, you know, and we got JMG, Rich Delbano. I mean, we got some of the top dogs of the industry.
Leviathan.
Yo, you know, I pretty much all the favors that can be called, I've called already.
Yeah, you got
Nice.
the heavy hitters coming out for you, man. That's super cool. Super cool.
And you know what? Speaking of you calling in favors, from all accounts, you know, I hear nothing but great things about you. Like, just genuinely a good person and look to help people out. So I'm sure calling those favors in wasn't too difficult.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a lot of them basically as soon as I asked were just like, yeah, we're in. No matter what you ask, we're in. And again, like everything we do here at Mouth Balls, we kind of just put everything into it between the facility, the setups we do at shows, and everything like that. So they know the show. We're going to put maximum effort in. For anyone that's already asking, where the show is going to be at the Southeast Reptile Expo is going to be in Atlanta. It's at the Georgia International Convention Center. It's a really nice venue. I was actually out there this morning just to chat with them and get some ideas. So yeah, it's going to be a really nice show.
There's some great hotels around it too. I've done some window shopping and they weren't terrible for such a big market like Atlanta. After tax, there were highly rated multiple Marriotts and whatnot, Hyatts around there for about $170 to $200 for a single room. That's after tax and fees. That's not bad in that kind of in a big city like that. So that's really still very approachable for people.
You can get a better deal if you go straight to our website. We have the Marriott booked out for 50 rooms, and then we also have the Home 2 for 50 rooms. So you can go on there and get the block rate, and they'll cut it down to even some more.
Oh, really? Wow. So as an individual to get one room or no?
You can get as many rooms as you want. Just go on there as long as you use the links that is on the website. So when we booked the venue was like, do you want hotels? Because the venue is partnered with the hotels that are surrounding it. And we were able to email each one of them and get different group rates and then kind of use, based off their pictures, decide which ones we wanted.
Wow. Okay, that's great. I mean, that's great news for a lot of people because I'm on the fence. I really want to get down there. It's about a 7-hour. I just went to Atlanta via car a few months ago. Went to the aquarium and well, there was a water main break, so I'm due to go back down there again. And I thought, well, I could combo that trip. I want to get down there, and it's about 7-8 hours. And I think a lot of people should make the trek. If you're anywhere within shouting distance, they have got to go. This is going to be
Yeah, you got to go.
a big show.
Yeah, it's one of your only chances in the Southeast. So in the Southeast, we have Daytona, which is our biggest show, obviously. And if you can't make it to Daytona, that's about it for the Southeast as far as like big shows go. You have Troy's show that's coming up in Charlotte. It's the All American Plant and Reptile Expo. That's going to be a good show. It's a first time show also. So between those few shows, you don't really have too many options. And in order to see, you know, Canova and some of these guys that don't vend many shows, and as much advertising as we're doing, I think you're going to expect this show to really grow over time and become one of the major shows to be at.
Very good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, hope it does. Hope it gets it. Sounds like it's going to get a lot of traction, that's for sure.
So that's twice now you've spoken future tense. Do you already have things kind of rolling towards the next show, a different city, same city, twice a year, once a year? What are you thinking?
Right now, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, as long as this show is successful, and I always say if vendors want us back, we will come back. And depending, do vendors only want us once a year, then we'll do it once a year. If they want it twice a year, I feel like Southeast can handle a show twice a year. Like let's say September and April or September and March, something like that. And as far as other cities go, it's a lot. It's so much more work than I anticipated. But that is not out of the question once we get the template down. Certain cities like that don't have major shows with a big enough population. And when I say big enough population, I'm talking, you know, a city with over 1 million people or 2 million people. You're talking, you know, Metro Atlanta, 6 million people.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we picked Atlanta. But I'm not going to pick a city with 100,000 people in it to do a show, you know.
Right.
So unfortunately for some people, you're going to have to travel to come to some of these major shows. And that's part of the anticipation, part of the excitement of it. You know, like it's like when I travel to Daytona or Tinley, it's a long haul, but it's an excitement about it. And I really do think even if we did it in Atlanta and again in Nashville or something like that.
Nashville.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So I'm from St. Louis originally, and that metro area is 3.5 million. And I know Nashville's a little bigger. It's definitely a lot more Cosmo, a lot more newer, modern, a lot more happening than St. Louis. And so I thought Nashville was something in my mind in that region that kind of made sense for you given the size you're thinking of.
Yeah, I will never touch St. Louis. St. Louis is a NARBC territory, so we're not gonna even touch that.
No.
And again, I gave it the name Southeast Reptile Expo so that we can stay in the Southeast, stay fairly close to home. I just mentioned Nashville because they lost their Pet Expo recently, which was one of my favorite expos to vend. It was a really fun show. They had monkeys and kangaroos and stuff for sale. But so I'm looking at that one just because Nashville deserves a big show and a nice show. The reason I'm not looking quite at Florida much, I know there's some mentions in Florida, is because Wayne is still having that show in Daytona.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that does a show down in West Palm, Ryan from Scales Expo. He does a show in West Palm in October. I'm hoping he grows that show huge and becomes very successful. So who knows?
That's awesome. Hey, speaking of Daytona,
Very
I caught your interview on Trap Talk about a month ago or so, 5 weeks ago, and it sounded like you went into it with a little trepidation. Were they going to be like, you can't mention the Southeast Expo, you can't bring it up, but they actually kind of welcomed you with open arms and said, hey, whatever you need, we got your back. You can promote it, you can flyer it, whatever you want to do. Did that go as smoothly as you hoped of when you spoke about it pretense? How did that go down? Okay.
Yeah, so I was kind of nervous that Wayne or any of the other promoters might feel like I'm stepping on their toes. But that's the only person that's not been happy with us so far has been the one show that's stepped on top of us.
Right.
Wayne actually personally called me and said, hey, if you want to promote your show in Daytona, you are 100% welcome to. And we did. We brought signs out, we brought posters, we handed out stickers, and anyone that was vending our show had flyers on their table that they gave out. We probably handed out about 2,000 to 3,000 flyers down there.
Nice.
and people are just walking around with them in their hands. Again, Daytona's 6-7 hours away, but you never know. We might get some of that mid crowd or northern Florida people that would travel up, And Wayne has been extremely supportive. Do you know Rami from California Super Show?
Dread might. I don't, to be honest.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
So he's the owner of the California Super Show, and it's a major show. It's literally, I think their last show, they took a whole fairgrounds worth. I mean, it was massive. And I wouldn't doubt it. They had 30,000 people through the door between their fish, reptiles, and...
if it was that one at that Pomona show they did,
Yep.
they had it like 2 weekends in a row.
Yep.
I mean, it was huge. I didn't realize it was that
like
big.
a state
It's 2 hours
fair.
for me. I knew it was a big show, but I didn't know it was 2 weekends. Or they expanded it to 2 weekends. Like, it was crazy big.
Yeah, plants, fish, and reptiles. And he doesn't know me from anywhere. We've met one time before. We've talked one time before. And when he saw that I was putting on a show, he actually messaged me and asked me if I needed any help with marketing, with our payment system and all of that. He's been so supportive. Sean from Herps, he's actually been reaching out to see if we needed anything. NARBC has called us to make sure that we got everything we need, because they've been doing this for 30 years. They're the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest reptile show in the country. And NARBC to reach out. Brian Potter calls me and says, "Hey, if you need anything, just let us know, so we can send people out to help you or give you phone numbers of insurance people, anything you need." So these show promoters have been extremely welcoming. So it's been very humbling experience overall, for sure.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And I think it just speaks to what good vibes you put out in the world. It comes back to you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, getting a lot of good support, right? We're getting that in the comments. So, yeah, very good, man. You deserve it. You deserve every bit of it.
Thank you.
You've put in the work over the years. We see what you do over there, and us starting out, right, we look up to guys like yourself and look at your collection, right, to inspire us. And yeah, you've put in the work. You deserve every bit of it. Every bit of it. So hopefully this takes off, and it is the Southeast Reptile Show is the next big, Yeah. This is cool, everybody. Yeah. Have fun with it.
What was up with you? Was it you and Keys the other day cutting eggs on Instagram Live?
Oh yeah, so Keys, he actually lives an hour from me. I didn't realize how close he was, and he was asking me if I wanted to do an interview for about 30 minutes, just talking about jeans and stuff that I like to work with. And I told him, I'm like, hey man, Sunday's like my pool day. You guys are welcome to join me if you want to bring a bathing suit. And so they actually came over. We hung out in the pool and did an interview. And
that explains why you guys were shirtless in the egg cutting, because I didn't really put two and two together. I didn't know the backstory, but I caught on that live and I go, I didn't know it was going to be this kind of party, because I couldn't put it together.
Yeah, he was over and we were actually about to get in the pool, and we were chatting over lunch about a clutch of deserts, and he was like, "Deserts? You mean desert ghosts?" And I'm like, "No, I'm talking about deserts." And then I actually remember the clutch was about to pip, and we actually cut that one live just to see.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah, he is a busy dude. That guy is everywhere, man. He knows how to do publicity. Keys is busy. That guy he's hustling every day. He's
going to
cool.
be vending our show. He's going to be not vending. He's going to be doing a podcast setup where he'll be interviewing our vendors live. So basically, every 30 minutes there'll be a new vendor coming in, doing a live with him, and
that's awesome.
That is really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
to hear. For sure. Hey, speaking about someone you was asking about jeans and things you were interested in, something I wanted to know about is the Voodoo line. How long ago did that start for you? Was it some gene you got out of an African import and just refined it? Or tell us about your background and your love on the Voodoo line and where you see it going.
So in 2018, I was a partner with a guy named Charlie, a really good friend of mine. And I went over to his facility where he's very good friends with Ian from Outback Reptiles. And Ian would send him pictures of all these African imports, and we just saw one we liked, and it was like $20, almost $20 or $30. And it's a very normal looking animal. However, I noticed the whole sides of the animal had granites going down the back and a kind of striped out tail. So we ended up picking up that animal for 20 bucks, and we have been breeding it out. We've made so far visual hypos, clowns, desert ghosts, and then I'll be making an ultramel and this year, and we're hoping to make maybe a desert ghost clown next year.
Wow.
And maybe a super. We've made the super. We haven't made the clown version of the super yet.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Is it an enhancer? Is it clean and brighten? Is it, I mean, give me a little bit of background on it, or if you got an animal, we'd love to see it.
Give me 1 second here. Does that work? Oh, that works.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool. So, come here, girl. So this is what the single gene looks like. This is basically what Dad was imported in as. Again, it's more people, and then I just noticed that it had really, really nice granites up on the sides of the animal, and it has this nice dorsal stripe almost every single time towards the tail. So this is the single gene voodoo, what the single gene looks like. Again, you can tell that it has something going on, but again, it took us about 3 years before we really figured out what to do with it. Again, so this is the single gene voodoo. Okay, I'm gonna put that girl up. Okay. So here's the hypo form. Again, the hypo really does enhance it a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You still get the granite sides and the tail dorsal. So really nice animal still. I feel like with this gene, I'm probably going to be changing color the most. Come here, girl. So in the super form, it's not that extreme, but I feel like in the clown, it can be. But here's a super form of the voodoo. This is a super voodoo. It's basically an extreme gene, extreme granite. You can see the dorsal is way more intense here. And it's just almost like a chocolate feel animal.
Yeah.
Something like that. And for those of you that haven't seen my facility, we'll take you on a quick tour to go look at the voodoo clown because he's out breeding. So I'm gonna try to wipe off this lens and we'll make this tour. Over here is where we clean tubs. Once they're cleaned, they'll go here to be dried out because they're bleached. Because we bleach them, we have to let them dry out fully before we reuse them.
I think I understand from our previous post of yours, that's your favorite thing to do.
Oh yeah, I love cleaning tubs. That's literally, I live for that. So voodoo clown is in here. Yep. Let me grab another part so I can show this guy off. This is the breeder room. So this is where most of our breeder females are right here. The orange tags here means that the female is gravid and do not put a rat in here, basically. So this female here is gravid, just waiting to lay eggs. It's a pastel leopard clown het desert ghost. So, okay, so I'm gonna steal this cart so that I can show you this animal.
What's your opinion on pastel? Someone asked about the market, and we'll get into that. But currently, what do you think position that pastel holds right now in the market? What do you think is its future?
If you have a lot of pastel in your collection currently, just make sure that it's not loaded into every one of your males, right? So if you have females, it's not that big of a deal. You have female pastel clown, pastel DG clowns. It's not that big of a deal. Half the babies will be pastel. We understand that. But when it's in your male, half of every one of his clutch will be pastels. It does hurt. But yeah, in my opinion, there is room for pastel. I'm going to show you guys some phenomenal pastel animals here in a little bit. But here is the voodoo clown.
Oh, wow.
So this is a single gene, just voodoo clown.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like pixel art.
Yeah.
So you see the granity sides here is still going on. This guy is a little over a year old. We just started pairing him. I don't pair my males until they're a year old or older. Until they hit a year old, we don't pair them. I've overbred young males before in my past, so I try not to do that. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys some pastel animals that, in my opinion, have aged phenomenally well. Let's see. Let's go to one of the crowd favorites, number 14.
I really liked how how there was a lighter tone, but within a border down the sides of that, and the drips from the clown pattern.
Yeah.
That was really neat on that one. Oh gosh, yeah, that's neat. Who
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
like
it.
Yeah, so this animal has pastel in it. Clearly, you can tell from his very bright yellow head here. But look at this animal. I mean, the pastel did not hurt this gene. This is a 1,000-gram animal, and he's still bright, 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 clean. So again, pastel has its place in the industry. I don't want people to go out there and bash on the gene and say, "Oh, it's a terrible gene." It's actually the first mutation I bought when I got into ball pythons was a pastel male. I paid $500 for a pastel male, and this male is actually breeding a sunset female this week. So I'll slide him back in there.
That's why we wanted you. That's why he brought that up. We wanted to hear that from you because we always talk about that too. You know that there is a place for pastel.
Right. And I'll tell you right now, people are like, "Well, if it's pastel, it should cost way less." I'll tell you right now, I'm transparent in our breedings and stuff. I paid $50,000 for this male right here. So it's not like, oh, it has pastel, I'm going to pay half price. No, genetic, strength on it is an extremely powerful animal. I'll be honest, I've already made my money back off of that male, off of one clutch. So, yeah, if you have the right females, when you're investing in males, make sure you have your females already lined up. Like, so as soon as that male came in, I had 4 females lined up for him.
Right.
I had females with follicles waiting for him and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's not a detriment to your projects just because pastel's in it. Again, we have animals, and people are like, "Oh, what's tape for?" We're shed testing certain animals like poshets, stuff like that.
Right.
I just love calico stuff. This is Calico NC Desert Ghost. She is phenomenal. And this girl's at well over 2,000 grams, and she is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so you're running an ultrasound religiously?
I ultrasound every week. Yes, I ultrasound every single week,
Okay.
but not every animal. So I basically breed everything on 1 week. That means, so let's say I breed everything on the first wave. That means I won't ultrasound those animals again until the first of next month. So basically, I have 4 ultrasound sessions. That way, it doesn't take me all day long and stuff like that.
Right.
This girl, she just had a prelay shed.
Awesome.
So we're gonna pull that shed here in a little bit. Yeah, and then here's my newest little project I'm working with is black-headed pythons. They are jumpy, beautiful, crazy little animals, but golly, they are phenomenal.
They are awesome.
So here's a question that's coming through. Are you breeding year-round? Because we do hear that from quite a few people that they do breed year-round.
I am. So people are saying, oh, it's end of the season, yada, 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 yada. They're not pairing anymore. Let me see which males are in here breeding. Let me see if this male is breeding. Yeah, they're locked up here. This is an ultra male clown. This is a clown double het ultra male desert ghost breeding this female. So I am working the ultra male desert ghost clown project.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
I breed all year round because the one thing is we are no longer seasonal, and the reason for that is we control every single aspect of these animals' lives. They in the wild would cycle and develop their follicles based on the seasons and how the temperatures fluctuate. We control the fluctuation here, so they will cycle when we want them to, basically. And because I don't drop temperatures, these females will cycle once a year at different times. So we just
You keep a steady temp all year round.
Yeah, and here's our incubator here. We run everything off of this this battery, basically. It's a continuous battery power supply. There you go, that's what it's called. So even when the power trips, this unit stays on. Because these units here run so much power that if the power even flickers, they usually turn off but never turn back on.
Right. And they reset their thermostat some models, and it's terrible.
Yeah, so you want a constant power supply. So even when the power trips, it runs off of that power and it never actually trips the unit. You don't ever, if you're not home, you're away from town, you got to be able to check your eggs, make sure the eggs are on. And I have these units in here. These are Govee units, and they give you the temperatures via Wi-Fi. So you'll know all the time your temperatures and humidity. Yeah, these are the desert Azanthic clutch.
Oh yeah, I love those. That's something I'm working on here. That's a goal here. If I can acquire the last few animals, I love that project.
Most anticipated clutch of the year. I do have Desert Ghost Azanthic Clown clutches, but I'm actually really looking forward to a Cypress Red Stripe Desert Ghost Clown. I have 6 eggs for that, so looking forward to hatching that. This is our baby room here. So these are all 10 series tubs, and then those are mini 10s. So this here is I wouldn't say we're low on inventory, but we're definitely not full. I shipped out 60 something animals this week, so these are all empties. Actually, these went to Japan yesterday.
Really?
And then so all of these went to Japan yesterday. All of those went to Japan. The ones that are not labeled just got shipped out. But yeah, these are all the baby where we set up babies. The mini 10s, I actually love these tubs. So they are actually great for starting off a new baby. And then as they grow, you're gonna want to switch them up to a regular 10 series.
God, I love those. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
This is a really nice animal. It's an Orange Dream Leopard Desert Ghost Clown. And I love these racks because these racks, they're small, so it makes the animals feel very, very secure. You know, there's not a lot of room on the sides. The water bowl actually gives it a lot of water, so it's actually perfect. It's a 4-ounce water bowl. Boy, he's snappy. This snake is snappy.
He's a noodle, and the whole world wants to kill him. Of course, he's snappy.
I always explain exactly like that. They're newborns, and everything wants to eat them. So, and if you see here, these some of the projects I'm working on. Triple het, Desert Ghost Azanthic paints. I made so many triple hets this year. We're probably gonna have to keep a ton of them. So, but that's still fun. Let's see, Desert Ghost Clown Het Azanthics. We got a few of these. These are 100% Het Azanthics. And we got quite a few nice holdback animals for the year so far. Here's a nice pair of Desert Ghost Clown Het Azanthics.
Awesome.
So do you try to sustain like an average number of clutches, or you just kind of just play that by ear? Yearly?
We planned it out pretty close. And we ended up with 299, and I was pretty disappointed on December 31st. I didn't get clutch number 300. I actually texted Justin Kabilka about it, and he ended up with 301 clutches, and he was like, you could have called us and we would have given you one.
Oh man.
Here's a Desert Ghost Azanthic Het Clown. That's a beautiful animal.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
I love those. I mean, who doesn't? That's goals right there, man. I love those.
Exactly.
It's just so striking. There's some people asking about wanting to see Black Lace.
Black
if you work with
Lace.
that, and they wanted to know about what was the
Black
other year?
Let's see.
Mackenzie and Mandarin. What's your opinion on those?
I'll be honest. I have a lot of friends that work Mandarin, so I don't want to talk bad about the project. But I personally don't own any because the first Mandarins that were offered to me, I can barely tell what the gene is. So, and you have to explain it to me. I didn't like that. Let's see. Black Lace. Did I put holdbacks on them? Oh, here's a Leopard Black Lace female. Leopard Black Lace Clown. So on the Black Lace Clown, oh man, I just had some really, oh my goodness, this Black Lace Clown. So this is just Black Lace Clown right here. On the Black Lace Clown, the backs are jet black. It almost, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to go with this project, but we love them, and we're going to hold back like maybe 15 animals from this project just this year. And I honestly, it might be one of the projects that don't even need clowns. I'll show you some of subadult animals that are not clowns, and they look phenomenal. So I'm going to show you a few of those. So that's Black Lace. Where is that pastel spot nose Black Lace Clown? It's one of my favorite animals we've hatched.
What do you think about Cypress Axanthic combos?
Cypress Azanthics. I'm trying to think, have I made Cypress Azanthics? Oh, I have
Good
not.
one, Zeus.
hold that thought on the Xanthics. I have Better Than Cypress. I have Stranger.
What? Cypress is hot right now. That's a
Yeah,
gene I'm seeing
I
everywhere.
love Cypress stuff too. Don't get me wrong, but this is a sub. This is an almost an adult female Stranger Xanthic, and she's still super pretty. I'm loving this combo, and I think this into a Desert Ghost Xanthic Stranger is gonna be phenomenal. So I'm really liking that. That's a Stranger Xanthic, and then some more pastels for you. Some don't you love it when they poop and they smear it to the side of the tub?
yeah.
I clean all my tubs on Monday and Tuesday. This one just destroyed it. So she'll need to get a new tub here in a second. This is a pastel Stranger Desert Ghost Clown. This is at a little over 1,000 grams, probably 1,300 grams, and she is still phenomenal. She's a little dingy. She got poop on her, but still a really nice animal. Pastel Stranger DG Clown. All right, sit in here for a little bit. Let me change your tub.
What do you
You're
What do we got
almost
here?
out of
Black
tubs.
pastel,
Where are you
red
going to
scuba.
find another one?
Yeah, I know. I better go find a tub to use. Oh no, I don't think I don't think I own a Cypress Xanthic. Here's a super red stripe Xanthic as an adult. I have so many Cypress hats. I have like Cypress, what is this? Cypress Cinnamon Fire Yellow Belly Double Het Xanthic Clowns. I have so
Wow.
many hats. I don't
That's
own
so
a
many
visual.
genes. That's a
Yeah.
great project. That can go any
Yeah,
direction.
yeah, so many animals in that project, like cinnamon, like Cypress Cinnamon Yellow Belly, Double Het Xanthic Clown, like so many animals in those projects, but nothing that is visual. Interesting. Okay, that's something I need to work on. Thank you guys for the idea.
yeah.
Here's Enchi Leopard Spot Nose DG Clown. As you can see, I do a lot of Desert Ghost Clown stuff.
If you guys see Bob on Morph Market later clicking on animals, just leave him alone, okay?
Yeah, if you see me buying a Xanthic cypresses, don't say nothing. But yeah, this is where we stack baby tubs. I want to say we have 300 maybe spare tubs, 300 or 400 spare tubs.
I know. I was going to say, it looks like you got enough tubs for a complete change out.
Yeah, and then I always do a complete change out extra set here. So these are all preset that I preset ahead of time, so that if I walk in and I open a tub and it has poop, I can swap it in. And then that way, instantly, I just throw it up here. I'll be honest, I just throw the dirty tub up here. Like this one wasn't dirty, it just has urates in it. And I just didn't like the male sitting in there, so I went ahead and swapped them out.
Yeah.
And then Monday, when I do a full clean out, I just dump those out. That way they don't have to sit in that mess. I hate it when
That
an
is
animal has to
actually
sit,
really
sit in the mess.
smart for a few extra tubs. Even if you had a small collection of 10 or 20 snakes, any size,
Yeah.
having some extra tubs and some preset, that is actually really smart, and that never occurred to me.
Yeah, the smaller your collection, the easier it is to do. With a larger collection, you trying to have a full change out is very difficult.
It's no different than like in the rodent room, the same thing. You have spare tubs
Exactly.
ready in the rodent room to clean on the fly. So,
So this is without clown. This is a leopard spot nose black lace het clown, and
gorgeous.
It's awesome.
So in
And
the
it's-
non-clown form, it's still a phenomenal animal. So I think we're gonna work this project without the clown. Again, she's het clown. That doesn't mean we have to breed a clown to her.
Right.
I probably still will. And then I think even on the non-visual version, it's gonna come out great. So, all right, we'll slide you back up, girl.
Yeah, I don't even know if you need to add clown. I mean,
That black lace is cool. You may not need clown at all, but right with other stuff, what is it really going to do?
Right.
Wow.
So this is Enchi leopard spot nose black lace het clown male. So this one was actually produced by a good friend of ours, Tanya Hagen, and then I ended up buying the clutch. And this here is a female Batman. So we're kind of just messing around, seeing what we can do with this pairing. It's actually his first female that he's going to be breeding. Again, he's about almost 1,000 grams. First female he's going to see. So we'll see what he does.
yeah.
What do we got?
Hey, now we talked with Kyle last night about some of his tricks. You got any tricks for a reluctant male that's not doing what you need with the right female?
Oh yeah, for sure. So you can try quite a few things. You can try a second male. You can try to. I don't suggest this to everyone. Pop a male and use some of his sperm plugs and rub it on a female. If you know what you're doing, you're not going to hurt any animals. You can also do what we do in this. Let me trying to find this third cart. Oh, here it is. I have a tub here full of sheds from old breeder males. Every time they shed, we throw them in here because every time those males shed, some of their sperm plugs are actually on there, they're onto the shed. Sure. And when you toss one of those in with the, when you pair them, you'll get better results. That male is going to want to breed. Because he smells another male in there, he's going to want to breed. So we always keep a tub full. This room's actually for my other species animals that I don't make money on. So in here we have softshell turtles. Just chilling. I think there's 5 of them in here. Yep, there's another one up there. Some geckos.
What kind?
I think this guy. Oh, there's one of the females.
Phil's Huma?
Yeah, these are electric blue day geckos.
Mm-hmm.
That's a female there. I don't know where the male is. It's he's around somewhere. And then crested geckos, garter snake but these are bios and they're not out. I think. I can see one female right there.
Oh yeah, that's the California, San Francisco locale, isn't it? The more blue.
The California red-sided garter. Hey girl, you want to come out?
That is my favorite garter snake, but I don't think that's really an exceptional statement. That's just they're amazing.
Here's another one. One of my bigger females up here.
Aww.
They're so awesome.
They're one of the prettiest animals out there. Not the happiest animals in the world, but really, really pretty snakes. This female actually gave us some babies earlier in the year, so I'm gonna slide her back in and let her go into her hive.
And how did those neos do for you?
I'll tell you, she gave us stillborn babies, I think. And again, I talked to a few breeders. It was because I didn't cool her long, and then I only had one male in there. Because they give live birth, you have to get as many breedings as possible. So right now, I'm actually letting her rest. And then this colony up here is 2 males and 1 female. So you do a reverse trio. They need to be bred more often because they give live birth. You need a higher fertility rate that way.
Okay. Wow.
There you go.
That's my something new today. Holy cow.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and again, they are communal, so you can keep a whole colony, like 4 or 5 animals together if you wanted to. That was something very new to me. I did not know that. Let's see, turn this camera.
How long ago did you get into those?
I bought those over a year ago, so this will be my 2nd year working with them. I'm actually very, very new to a lot of species, like even with the black-headed pythons. I bought those in Daytona. I've been researching those for about 2 years, and I just got them in Daytona when I felt like I was ready for them.
Yeah. My new love is the Madagascar tree boas. Golly.
Dude, those are phenomenal.
The Westerns. Wow.
What are those called? Starts with an S.
Sanzinia Madagascarianas or something.
There you go. They are phenomenally yellow and brown. And
they look like
orange.
a gaboon viper cousin. I mean, they look like a ground viper.
Right, they are phenomenal animals, and in my opinion, someone just asked about pied stuff. Oh man, you're gonna get me running off on a tangent again. I will go on a tangent. But
tangent.
Fine, run with it.
Anytime I start to research new species like that, I always give myself at least 6 months to a year to decide if I truly want one or in my opinion, I guess, deserve or am ready to get one, because you can't just jump into a new species like that, because any new breeder or keeper, everything is exciting at first. and you might lose that flair after a while. So I just give myself 6 months to a year. Now on the pied stuff, oh man, my favorite pied, one of my favorite pied I hatched. I hope Marie. God, I hope Marie's watching. She already bought the snake. She has it on hold.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna show this animal off. Marie, I hope you're watching because look at this girl. Oh my goodness,
Gorgeous. Look how bright.
And she just shed. Oh, phenomenal.
Vibrant.
Yeah. So this is a Orange Dream Desert Ghost pied. And the reason it's my favorite project was because pied was my first expensive recessive, and Orange Dream was my first expensive codominant gene. I bought my first pied for $5,000 for a spider pied male and 2 het pied females. From that was 2012, and then I bought my Orange Dream in 2014 or 13. I can't remember exact, but that's Orange Dream Desert Ghost pied. And then here's the Enchi Desert Ghost pie that she also picked up. Another phenomenal animal. Really nice animals. We're going to be breeding together down the road.
Orange Dream is it just takes pied to another level. I mean, it just cleans and brightens so well.
I'm going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone with this one.
30,000. Keep it up. 30K. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up.
I was
expecting this to be really nicer in the super form, like a super Orange Dream or a super Mackenzie form. I have options to do both because this is a male, thank goodness. I held back Mackenzie het pied females last year. I held back 4 of them that are all over 1,000 grams now. So with this male, maybe next year we'll have a shot at super Orange Dream, Enchi, Yellow Belly, super Mackenzie pieds. That's going to be really crazy. So again, one of my favorite projects right now is the Mackenzie pieds and Mackenzie clowns. So that's going to be nice. And even in this, so this here is an Orange Dream Yellow Belly gravel. Oh no, sorry, Orange Dream gravel hypo het pied, because I do believe that the Orange Dream highway hypo pied is going to be nice. So just another animal to hold back.
Yeah, just so excellent. I love Orange Dream Hypo. You just can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, so a lot of pied stuff. I really truly do enjoy making pieds. It's been a staple for so long in the industry. Even when they come out like this with the toupee. You know, I've probably my biggest money maker in the history of Balls has probably been pieds because we've done so well with them. I just never stop. This is, believe it or not, a visual pied. This is no white on it, but it is a super Enchi pied. That's why it has no white. So many different grades of pieds.
So you kind of were mentioning some of the foundation when you took on and you kind of created Bob's Balls and what some of your first purchases were. If I read your Morph Market bio right, it said you started breeding in 2009 and you went full-time in 2016. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. My first clutch was in 2009. It was a pastel to a normal. And then in 2016, my wife actually it wasn't very difficult to convince me to quit my day job and do this full-time. And
what was the day job? Was it insurance?
Yeah, I was actually a director for an insurance company.
Right.
My job was to train and fire people, which both sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
So anyone that does that, I give you so much credit for sticking it out because I did it. I did not do it for long. I did it for 2 years, and it was absolutely terrible. I hated it. So
you got a business background then? Is it safe to say?
Yeah. So not so much business. I want to say. Sales background. I think it's probably the most important part was just to have a sales background. And this is a pretty fun clutch. This is they just shed first shed. These are Orange Dream lace clowns. So they are extremely nice. Look at the checkering on the side of these animals.
Bob, you're nailing it. My goal, no matter if I'm breeding $100 snakes or $10,000 snakes, I don't care. I want snakes that people walk by the table or look on Morph Market and go, wow, that thing's gorgeous. They don't even have to like snakes. I want them to be works of art that people can universally say, that's phenomenal. And I think you're knocking that out of the park.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I appreciate that. Daniel, if you're watching, I actually held this animal back for you. It's a female orange stream lace clown. It's probably the nicest one in the collection, so I held that one specifically back. I actually had like 4 of them, but I held that one for you. Maybe one for me. I don't know. But yeah, so when I first got in, I'll be honest, the first animals that get everyone into the ball python game, I would say would be bumblebees, blue-eye Lucies, and pieds. Those are the animals that get people into the industry the most, just because of how amazingly beautiful. Oh my goodness, these are in shed, or else they would be
big time.
Yeah, but I mean, even dulled out deep, but I mean, they still look cool. Yes, when they crawl out.
And so,
glasses.
Of those 3 you mentioned, I would, in my opinion, I would only say one of them is worth pursuing. Pied.
For sure. So the thing is that the bumblebee was what got me into the industry to start with. When I first got into the industry, bumblebees were $1,200 a piece, and I was like, I have to make one. I bought my first pastel male, and then I bought a spider female from someone's garage. Like, I drove 4 hours to go pick up a spider female from some dude's garage. And this animal doesn't have spider. It just looks like it. This is actually a GHI pinstripe spot nose red stripe desert.
What? Wow. So if you could create, and if you could dial in the spider look without the detriments and the inner ear issues, that could be a gold mine.
For sure. I love the look of the spider still, in my opinion. And I still think it has a lot of room in the industry, in the pet trade especially. So we're still going to work a few projects around that just for the looks. Look at this clutch. Every animal is so different.
For sure.
But yeah, some Ultramel confusion.
I like every one of them.
Yeah, some Ultramel confusions. Let's see here. We have.
I like those.
Yeah, so this here is an Ultramel confusion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like confusion.
Really takes Ultramel and does something. Wow.
Yeah, it does.
I do love confusion stuff. Have you guys shed yet? No, you haven't. Some Calico Pied combo project. Oh, this is Orange Dream. Orange Dream Enchi Calico Pied Head Hypo for down the road.
Thanks, Snake Wave. Fellow V Unit brother.
Calico's good.
Hey, what's your take on the initial shed testing of, was it Desert Ghost? So they said there was an A, B, C, D type, and then...
Yeah, I was not happy about that.
I don't think any breeder was.
I told them, hey, do you guys mind recanting your statement so that when you are 100% sure, we can actually come up with something instead of... At the time, they weren't 100% sure. They just needed something out. I didn't like that. I felt like it was a little rushed. But again, now they've fixed it for the most part. I hope that is 100% accurate. I've talked to Charlie from Grey Rider. He is sure it is 100% accurate on the testing. Guys, if I haven't been reading the comments because I just kind of been zooming around.
Oh, no, you're good. We've been trying to relay questions about you know, genetics and projects to you. Everyone else has just been oohing and on as they should. The fireworks, people love what you're showing, man. I guess you're Team Bright. There's Team Dark and Team Bright. I guess you're Team Bright.
I am. When I got into ball pythons, I just wanted to make bright, colorful animals. I feel like in the pet trade, that's very important for the pet person. I'll be honest, I put a stranger, people love strangers. You put a stranger next to a normal, next to a single gene pied, a new person's gonna pick the pied every single time. You put a stranger clown next to a bumblebee, new person picks bumblebee every time. Again, I'm not saying I'm out here just trying to produce bumblebees, but I want to produce stuff people want to buy. I want to produce stuff that's pretty, in my opinion. Just because everyone else is pursuing a different project doesn't mean you have to. I do have some darker projects that I think has a lot of potential, but however, even when I pursue those dark projects, like super chocolates, I want to make super chocolate Desert Ghost Xanthics. I want to make super chocolates, but lighter. I want to make them with a lot of contrast. So even with the darker genes, I tend to go towards the lighter genes to produce more contrast. You saw that clutch earlier. It was a GHI Desert Ghost project, which is GHI is a dark gene, leopard's a dark gene. However, we made it a light snake by adding spot nose and desert ghost. So certain genes will lighten each other up. We know that spot nose is a fairly dark gene and GHI is a dark gene, yet this is a spot nose GHI desert ghost and it's a light snake. So certain genes when stacked on top of each other will produce a light colored animal even though it's two darker genes. So knowing some of this stuff by producing the base ingredients, like this is GHI spot nose desert ghost head clown, I know that this animal has all the blacks and browns and dark color and pattern. However, the dorsal will still be highlighted. So into the clown version, this should be a very high contrast animal with phenomenal pattern. Hopefully, it could also be terrible. Who knows?
Well, you got the space and the time and the resources to play with it. I mean, that's what, it's almost like when we get a chance to hang out with you or Kyle or Emilio or people that are just doing us on another level for long term. It's almost kind of like a fashion show, like the stuff they wear on the runway. Nobody would ever wear, but it takes and it permeates the industry and it gives style and it gives people an artistic goal to it. And I think some of the bright animals and the contrast might just be an inane human, what we see as beauty just as our species, because you look at coral reefs, look at what people would call universally a beautiful flower, contrast, geometric shapes, things that are a yin and a yang when you look at them. And bright, whether it's dark or light colors, does that for us. And then ball pythons are unique that you can really play with those genes. I think we all deep down love those bright colors, even if it's a black and white snake.
Yeah. So I think the uniqueness of the ball python industry is that no matter what your definition of beauty is, right? So some people love symmetry. In humans, we tend to view symmetry as beautiful. People who have symmetrical faces are deemed beautiful. But in the ball python industry, there are people who like asymmetry. People who like pieds, pieds are known to not be symmetrical, clowns and stuff like that. And now puzzle is because it is not symmetrical. Puzzles and zebras and all that is the asymmetry that attracts them. And that's actually the great part of this industry, is that no matter what you like, there is a mutation out there for you that probably fits that standard of beauty for you.
Cool. Right on. I'd agree. Question has come up a couple of times. Dream Dumper wants to ask, very apropos, do you have a dream reptile?
I do, unfortunately. So I have always wanted a rhino viper. Since probably college days, when I first saw a picture of a rhino viper. In my opinion, the most beautiful snake in the world is a. However, I know me very well. I get very complacent. I get very comfortable in my snake room and just start opening tubs. Even with the black-headed pythons, I've had them for a few weeks. And I just stick my hand in there and they are darty. They're snapping at stuff. And I just stick my hand in there without a care in the world. I've gone to herping with some of the best herpers around the world. And when we find rattlesnakes, I just grab them. And these guys are like, hey, man, a little bit of caution. And I do understand now. I am a little bit more careful. When I was younger, 18, 19, 20, when I was herping, it was just hook in hand. But now, we've got to be a little bit more careful. And I know myself so that I do not buy any venomous reptiles. The closest I'll probably get to getting something potentially that dangerous, possibly could be a Gila monster or something like that. But I just don't feel like I need anything dangerous to define, how cool of a reptile collection it is.
Right.
So I think garter snakes are super cool. I think the black-headed pythons are super cool. I don't need to own a venomous snake. I definitely don't need to own a venomous snake.
At least you know your limits and you're honest with yourself. I mean, that's got to account for something.
Yeah, I know I am not responsible enough to keep a venomous animal. I know that.
if I ever got into hots, it would be the Installars, the tree viper family. I can't help myself. If I ever
Yeah, my buddy Scott Wilkinson from the UK. I actually went to his house in March, and we first walked into his living room, Insularis enclosure, then viper enclosure, all these other vipers and rattlesnakes and rock rattlesnakes, all these species. And I was like, how do you do it? I'm watching him handle these things. And I was like, I would last a week in this room. There's no way. 1 week is about as long as I give myself in a room full of venomous. I just know I'm not careful enough because these guys have, thousands of hours of training. I just don't have the patience or the training to do something like that.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Someone asked about
fair.
a gene test for your voodoo. Is there a gene test in the works?
There's not, and it's probably for the same reason there's not a gene test for like pinstripes or something like that. I'll be honest, the gene itself is not popular enough in the pet trade. There's not enough of them. It's not like I have 1,000 of them to sell out to where there's 1,000 people that own them. We only produce 4 or 5 clutches of them a year. I do that on purpose so that it's not flooding the industry with it. And a selfish reason being I want to be the first to produce everything. I want to make the first clowns, the first desert ghosts, the first Xanthics, so I don't sell any of the heads out. For that reason, almost no reason for RGI or any of them to make a test.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Pepper. Rikers is asking, have you ever heard of Pepper?
I thought I saw something, but Pepper I think ended up getting lumped into Carbon or one of those other granite types. Maybe Nanny, which is now called Carnage, I believe. But a lot of these granite types end up proving to be very similar. Which, by the way, with the Nanny, not Nanny, Shrapnel, the Super Shrapnel Clown Corey DeLong produced a month ago is phenomenal. So some of these granite type genes, you just have to have so much patience to work with them, produce a super form, and you can just treat it like a recessive. If you treat it like a recessive, let's say, and you say Voodoo and Pepper are similar, yeah, it could be where if you breed the two together, it produces a super form. But we can always treat every codom like a recessive and stop ignoring it. Like, oh, well, the single gene wasn't that good. Only the super gene's good. That's fine. Just like saying the pet pies are not good, but pies are good. It's perfectly okay to do that. The Voodoo, in my opinion, the single gene form in the clown is amazing already. The super should be even better. But if it wasn't, if only the super form was okay, was good, I would still be okay with it. I would just treat it exactly like a recessive, pretty much.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it.
Like chocolates. I feel like chocolates.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the single gene chocolate combos, even though I think they're amazing still, the chocolate clowns. But if you don't like chocolates in the single form, you can't tell me you don't like chocolate in the super form because the super chocolates are amazing. So just treat chocolate like a recessive. Treat, red stripes or
keep working into your project down here, and because you don't know what you're going to get, like you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's next on your
That was
agenda? Getting
cool.
ready for this expo, Bob.
Do what now?
What's next on your agenda? What's on the last of your to-do list for this show?
We have 16 days out, and I will tell you right now, the only thing we have on our mind right now, obviously, we have Dallas NARBC next weekend, the weekend before our show. We will be working hard, bringing a very nice setup to that. However, we will be focusing on right now on just pushing the online advertisement, getting the online ticket sales. I want to go into the show with a little level of confidence that we'll already have a decent show by selling a good bit of online tickets so that when we get to the show, the vendors can also feel good about it, knowing there's going to be X amount of people through the door. If I tell you, hey, I sold 1,000 tickets online ahead of the show, you're automatically going to think, well, not a lot of people, most people who go to reptile shows buy tickets at the door, but if you're able to sell at least 1,000 tickets online, again, I don't know what the numbers are, the metrics of this. I don't know if 1,000 is good, is bad, or whatever.
Right.
If 1,000 tickets is sold online, you can bet sure there's going to be, at least a few thousand people that will show up to buy tickets in person, so how many online tickets sold will make you feel good. Over 1,000. I will say 1,000 will make me feel pretty comfortable. I feel like if we got 2,500 to 3,000, I would feel really good about it.
Yeah.
Anticipating 4 to 5 times the amount of attendees versus online ticket sales. But I think if we get 2,500 tickets sold online, I'll be very happy. I've talked to other show promoters, and they've sold 2,500 tickets online. That means their show's going to be good. So that's
Okay.
a number.
Got the
Well, I
hairdo.
Rikers was asking because whatever the discrepancy is, he's going to buy up the extras. So
That's perfect, actually, Riker. I appreciate you. Whatever we don't sell up to 2,500, I'm going to hold you to it.
Rikers is good for it. I'm
There
pretty
you
sure
go.
he's got you. If you're like 1,000 short, he's got that. No big deal.
That's easy. 20 grand. That's 2 snakes.
Oh, they're VIPs. He's only going to do VIP. I mean, go big or go home. I mean,
Actually, Riker, good news for you is we do not have a VIP. We're just straight run. The reason for that is, in my opinion, out of all shows in the country, the only show I've actually attended where VIP is worthwhile for an attendee is Tinley Park. The other shows, you can come in whatever time you want. You're still about the same. I think Tinley Park VIP is a must. You have to do it. The other shows you can or you don't have to. The turnout is pretty soft usually. Arlington used to have a phenomenal VIP also. So Arlington and Tinley are the two I would get VIPs for. I will be vending Tinley. I just saw that question pop up. I will be vending Tinley with my good buddy Josh from Ball Python Shed. So we'll have booths there if you are able to see us there.
are you vending Atlanta or just hosting? Are you actually having a table?
I am vending. The only reason I'm even having a show, I'll be honest, is because I want a show in Atlanta I can vend. I don't vend Repticons and I don't vend the Show Me shows, and that leaves me with no other shows. So, like, literally, the only reason I'm hosting a show is so I have a good show in your home.
There you go. There you go.
If you can't trust the help, you got to do it yourself.
Do
man.
it
I like
yourself.
it.
There you go. Right.
That's
Heck
awesome.
yeah.
Hey, I'm thinking I'm going to get down to Dallas, man. I really hope I'll definitely meet you in person, but I'm hoping that to get down there. So I definitely would like to meet you down there and see a few friends as well. We got a bunch of people that hang with us here online that, like online friends are becoming real life friends here as we kind of grow. And my co-hosts here, Dredd and Anthem, they host some lives. Dredd has really good turnout for people just coming and seeing what he does. And we're just trying to put people together from online to the real world. So we're hoping to go down there to Dallas and shake some hands.
Dallas is a fun show. There's so many vendors. I want to say it was like 600 something, 700 tables. They have a huge lineup for that show. We always have a good time. And it's actually a really good, if you're a herper, if you're an avid herper, Dallas is in the perfect time. It's April and September, which is good herping months for Texas. If you're a herper, again, I set up on Friday and then I go herping for like 5 hours and then, to the show the next morning. And then the auctions are always fun. All the NARBC auctions are fun. We won't have an auction at our show yet. If we are successful enough, if we're lucky enough to be successful and all the work that we put in, if people show up and show us some love and come out, we can hopefully do this event again, and I can see us hosting an auction moving forward.
That's
Sky's
a
the
great
limit.
goal.
Yeah, good goal.
It's ambitious but humble, which is really kind of
Yeah.
seems to be the nature of your business and where you kind of position yourself is in a sweet spot. I think that's why you're approachable. I mean, big timers, everyone speaks well of you, so I think that bodes. It's going to be a good turnout. I don't see it not being a good turnout at this point.
Appreciate that. Yeah, the support, the community support so far we've gotten has been amazing. I mean, it's more hype than I've seen for most shows. I've got breeders that are flying out. I got breeders from Puerto Rico flying in. I got Canadians flying in. That's why I feel like I have to be like, full foot on the gas pedal to make sure that this show is good. I just want to make sure my vendors make money is the biggest part. If the vendors don't make money, there's no sense in coming back for a second show.
Right.
So we just need to make sure that enough people come through the door for my vendors to make money. So right now we don't need just obviously the community support's been amazing, but I also need the public support of the locals. I need people to just come through the door, buy their first pet, buy their second pet, get addicted to this. Learn about how to keep a ball python. It doesn't even matter if they don't buy a ball python the first time. Come in and just look around and shop and follow people on Instagram. The amount of people who've come into their first shows I've gone to and say they hate reptiles, they're scared of reptiles, they just wanted to see what it's about. And then 2 hours later, I'm bagging up a snake for them. I mean, it's happened so many times. So I just want people to show up. I don't even care if you like reptiles. Just show up and learn something. We have some of the best breeders from around the country that can educate you and show you, the best of what our craft's about, what our industry's about.
That's awesome. That's kind of what we love to do with this show, man, is bring people together. That's why we do different species and different backgrounds every week. So that's dead on the money. Marines 911 asked if you still had a clown from Schaumburg.
Oh man, come on! I'm not gonna know which one it is. Message me later. I might have it. Schaumburg wasn't that far ago, so I might still have it. Message me.
What up, Kyle? Kyle's running through still. Throw Kyle in a box, Constrictly.
Kyle, how you even got signal, Kyle? I've known Kyle Kyle, how long have we known each other? Probably at least 10 years, huh? I might have bought some of my first snakes.
He's listening, okay.
He's listening. He can get in a box if he wants. Okay.
Yeah, I've known Kyle for probably 10 years now. Again, a lot of us have been old school. I don't want to say old school breeders. 10 years doesn't feel like old school breeders. Maybe 15 years. I think you hit the old school breeder. I don't know. 20 years makes you an old school breeder. Maybe there's got to be like a cap. We'll make like levels.
You heard it here first. There's a 15-year cap. Now I think the ball python genes have just accelerated in the projects and the doors opening. If you've been in it 10 years, not even 15. You've really seen a lot change, in my opinion.
But sometimes, like, do you ever feel like a guy that's been in this for 15 years but made no progress, do we still call them OGs? You know what I'm saying? Because this industry moves so much faster than any other industries, I feel like, other than technology. Like, by the time 15 years ago, you're like, cool, I made a 4-gene pastel spider and cheese pinstripe. You're like, oh, that's super cool 10 years ago. In today's world, that's a $150 animal, $200 animal. So it's like you have to continuously hold back animals and grow and grow and grow. And I feel like even if you've been in this for 15 years, you can easily be left behind. You got some of these guys that have been in it for 5, 7, 8 years and be way, way, way ahead. I've known Miguel since he started in the industry, and he, in a very short period of time, AHP has moved way past some of the breeders I've known that have been in the industry. AHP.
He's put it out there and hit some words first. I mean, he put his heart into it and did it.
I just want to say about the multi-gene recessive. When you try to do the multi-gene recessives and you're working with triple heads, you better upgrade your male if you got adult females if there's a male available. Just because the chances of triple het to triple het is so hard, you're better off getting a visual double het or a double visual het, because I know people that bred them 6, 8 times. They've had like 8, 10 clutches and they've only hit 1 triple.
Right.
From triple het to triple het.
That's to Kyle's point. If you're running a triple het to triple het and you multiply out your odds, boom, 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 you can breed a male triple het to 5 female triple hets, get 50 eggs, and never hit a triple. You can do that again next year, never hit a triple. Next year, never hit a triple. The odds are there that you might hit one, doesn't mean you will. So when he's saying save yourself the headache, right? So you got 5 female triple hets. Even if you can only find a clown double het Azanthic DG as an upgrade, it's still an upgrade. You just multiplied your odds times 2, or you just cut it down in half. Now you've doubled your chances of producing the triple. And then let's say you miss it. Genetic testing has made it a little bit easier. You miss the triple visual animal. You make a double visual DG clown het Azanthic. It's only pos het technically, but you can genetic test it, find out that it is het, and use that male. Now you have a double visual het for the other, breeding to triple het females. Your odds have now just doubled again. Okay, Kyle, do you want to tell us the odds for that one? I'll tell you. So it's 1 out of 16. So now you're 1 out of 16 instead of 1 out of 64 producing a triple visual. So just by upgrading that male, going from a triple het male to a double visual het the other, you just multiply your odds by 4 and save yourself a ton of heartache.
Yes.
And so, Honey Bear, to answer your question, it's not hard to get into the industry and breeding snakes. It is hard to stay in and progress and move further if you're not willing to make the sacrifices and hold back enough animals and be your best customer, in my opinion.
Yep. I hear that phrase a lot. Be your best customer. Exotic A1 Pets asks, do you think there's room for growth in this for people in this that come in with minimal budget?
Oh, man, I came in with minimal budget. I bought my first pastel male with my scholarship check for $500. And then I bought a spider, and then I bought a blah, blah, blah. And then as I was selling those clutches, I was upgrading. Remember, I started my first clutch in 2009, which means I had ball pythons 5 years before that. So when I bought my first ball python versus the year that I went full time was 11 years. It took me 11 years to go from first ball python to full time. So don't rush yourself and force yourself into a position where you're like, oh, I better make money or else,
Yeah.
Don't put yourself into that position and you'll enjoy the industry a whole lot more. Okay. Every $1,000 you make extra, okay, just spend it on a vacation, enjoy yourself. Don't force yourself, to turn this into the industry before, into a business before you're ready.
Right. So it comes to what we talk about all the time during the hangouts. You have to enjoy it, right? You got to love it and enjoy it, especially if it's your hobby. Don't let your hobby turn into a business that you start to dislike, right, or whatever. So you're right. Take your time, grow it slow, take your licks, make your mistakes, right? Revamp, but just keep looking ahead. Learn from our OGs out here, right, or our experience, like Bob and Kyle.
I can probably write you a book on what all mistakes I've made in this industry. The racks I've built. I have built some jankety racks, man. Rat racks, snake racks. I built my first patching rack. I got so greedy, right? I'm like, well, the wider I build the rack, the more tubs I can put in it. I was also 19, and I never thought about, well, with more weights, this rack's gonna bow.
And then you have to move one day.
And then this rack is sticking, the tubs are sticking, and you're yanking on it, it won't come out. I was 19 trying to use a soldering iron, soldering heat tape myself because I didn't want to pay for, heat tape that was already pre-soldered. All the mistakes in the world. I've done rat racks where rats escaped, water leaks. Every single mistake you can make in this industry, I've done it. I'll be first to admit it. I've had animals die under my care that probably were my fault. Again, I've hatched over 10,000 ball pythons.
I've done it too. To be honest with you, when you start getting a number of them, stuff starts happening. You don't know how to combat certain things, and you learn. You learn the hard way. I mean, really.
But just on that note, right? Learn from those mistakes and share that with other people, up and comers. Look, this is what I did. You're gonna fall on. Sometimes people have to fall on their face and get back up. And don't be scared. Don't be scared to do it.
You're gonna want to quit a lot of times. I've had soldering. There's nothing wrong with soldering your heat tape. I tell you that too. It's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Unless you're a 19-year-old with shaky hands. It wasn't good. I burnt holes through the heat tape before. Not good stuff, man. But I did it. I built racks myself. I heated them myself. No problem. But yeah, you're gonna want to quit sometimes too. I've done this, and when it was new, I've had, my first 50 animals. I've actually had a clutch die. In my opinion, it was my fault. I kept checking on them, opening them constantly. And that might've been what killed the clutch. And I just wanted to quit, I'll be honest. The good thing for me now is I can't quit. I have 4 other people that depend on me to pay their bills. So I don't have that option. So no matter what mistake, what catastrophic things happen here, we're gonna keep trucking on and making sure everybody gets paid and we get to enjoy what we do and live the dream.
That's good. Yeah, you're right, man. This is good stuff. I think for people like even myself to hear, you can't I mean, I spend 25 hours a week plus outside of working 60 hours a week, but I spend that others trying to grow this, trying to grow my business, networking, meeting people. I spend 80 plus hours a week trying to get ahead, whether it's on a paycheck or doing this with my own reptiles.
Are you
I
married?
can tell you a story about a.
Oh, he's not. He's not.
Okay. You are though, Dread?
Oh, I am. Yeah, my wife supports it.
Okay. I always
But it's
tell
a lot.
people, man. You don't even need a spouse that loves reptiles. I'll be honest, my wife doesn't love reptiles. You just need one that tolerates it, and you need one that tolerate you enough to understand your passion. And at 9 o'clock, if you're running a TikTok live, she'll say, "Sure, why not?" And for me to go take trips across the country, to go herping or at 10 o'clock at night, there's a leak in the rat room and I'm just going to have to do it.
Yeah.
For her to be
Yeah.
understanding enough
Hey,
to do it, to take
It's
care of
like this. It's like this, right? She enjoys me doing these lives and being involved because I leave her alone that way.
it. There you go.
So she's looking at a ticket to Dallas right now. How can I get you to Dallas to go hang out with you guys from Bakersfield, right? So you can give me a break for a few days. Okay.
There you go.
I get it. Yeah. So-
Every Tinley in March is actually the same weekend as my wife's birthday. So I leave on Thursday night, and then like last time Friday was her birthday. Usually she would take a trip either to New York or something with her girlfriends. This year I didn't tell her what we were doing, and ended up taking her to Paris the week after Tinley to celebrate her birthday over there. So her tolerance of what I do, I feel like deserves rewarding. And again, when I first started in this industry, I was working 70, 80 hours a week, doing insurance. She had to go pick up rodents for me on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights to bring them back from another city so that I can feed the next day, And so she went through all of it with us. She's gotten rats in her car. She's picked through mice. She's fed my animals. She's done it all. And again, you don't need a girl that loves reptiles. So you just need one that tolerates you enough to let you do all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
taking her to Paris,
Props to
getting
her, right?
later.
Props to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, props
For sure.
to her.
Way
That's
cool.
awesome.
I did have a $50,000 thermostat malfunction where I lost 10 animals worth over $50K.
Cal, I hear that story, not that exact story, but that very similar type of story. You remember when Steve had his malfunction on his thermostat?
Oh, the
and-
incubator.
Yeah,
Oh my
incubator.
God. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of eggs.
When he called me, I wanted to cry when he told me what was in the incubator. And all I can tell him is do not cut those eggs. If you cut them, you will cry. And I felt so bad, And again, we've all had these mistakes.
Yep.
And now we know better, right? That's why I have fail safes in my incubator. I have backup batteries in my incubator, just in case. Like all of these thermostats are set on the off position when they malfunction. They shut down. We have backups on top of our backups because we've made these mistakes. We've all made.
I was just having issues with electrical problems. I don't know, for some reason, one of my breakers trips. And then what I end up having to do is one of the cords sometimes will get loose and it'll trip the breaker. So you got to go take every plug in, pull them out, put them all back in, hit the resets on the power surges, and then you reset the breaker, and you got to watch it, and you got to stay in there, and you got to make sure they're all dialed in and they're all working. I was just in there for almost an hour, and it's finally working, and I'm hoping it keeps working because it did it a year ago on that same one, and then it was fine. But now the power went out earlier today, and I don't know if that did something or what, but now it's doing it again.
Exotic A1.
Here is one little tip for
It's a
new
good idea.
keepers. Little tip for new keepers: use aluminum tape. Do not use duct tape.
Oh, I zip tie
Aluminum.
them, Bob. I zip tie them on because I'm so paranoid because I've had them fall off, or I pulled on a rack and pulled them off. So I zip tie them.
Okay, so here's what we do with our racks. The probe is actually taped along the bar so that no matter how hard you tug on it, it won't come off. And then it is taped to the heat pads themselves. Now, the reason we use aluminum tape and not duct tape or gaffer tape or whatever other tape is aluminum tape does not give up over time due to heat. You can heat them up all you want and they will still stay, hold on really good.
Yes.
With duct tape, when you heat it up, pull it down, heat it up, pull it down, the tape itself starts to degrade and becomes very brittle and it will break. And I've seen so many racks melt because when your probe falls off, what happens is your probe falls off, it doesn't register that it's heating. So now your thermostat stays on 100% and your heat tape just stays on, and it'll cook your whole rack. So,
I told him a story about that's what happened to me last night. I told him a story last night that's the same exact thing that happened to me, and I quit doing that too. Aluminum tape.
Aluminum tape, guys, like $10 will save your whole rack. So.
I'm gonna take off here. I just got a bunch of stuff I got to do before it gets too late. So I probably will maybe pop back in, but I doubt it.
It's no problem, Kyle. It's 9:30.
Kyle, thanks for coming through, bud.
Yep, we'll see
It's
you guys.
9:30 over here.
You
My
bet.
wife's starting to wonder why I am. Daniel's asking me about running hordes. We're hopping on Diablo. Just gonna hop up here. Yeah, actually, guys, my snake room's actually under my house, so it's like super convenient. So for those of you looking at building like a facility, basements are #1 way to go, in my opinion. Anyways,
About how many square foot is your basement where you're set up?
it's about a little over 5,000.
Wow, that's okay. That's good square footage.
Yeah, for the so that was the reason we bought this house specifically, because the basement was unfinished and it was a little over 5,000 square feet.
Oh, perfect.
What do you think an up-and-coming gene is? We got a couple last questions before we let you go. What do you think an up-and-coming gene is? Someone's asked that a couple times.
I think the number one sought after gene that is not, in my opinion, like huge commercial gene right now is paint. So if you're gonna invest in a gene that is gonna be popular moving forward, I would say would be paint. Oh man, my arm looks good. So I would say
Flex it if you got it. Flex it.
Yeah. The reason paint didn't get a lot of wave at the beginning, it was because it was a weird naming situation. It was paint and sentinel and het sentinel, het paint. People didn't know if it was a recessive or codom. Now we just use it as a recessive, and it's gone a lot further in the industry. I think paints is going to come up 2 or 3 times in price. Back in 2017, 18, you can get visual paint for $500. Now you probably can't get one for $1,500 to $2,000.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah, I think paint is going to be one of the big upcoming new genes. I'm loving tornadoes. Look, keep your eye out for super chocolate combos, man. I think super chocolates is one of the most underrated codoms out there. Produces some of the prettiest adult animals. And obviously in the desert ghost form, it's amazing. And the xanthic form is amazing. I bought my first xanthic chocolates just so I can make supers. That's how much I like that product. I mean, it's such a far away start, but man, don't sleep on those deserts, man. Someone asked earlier, Riker, I think you asked. I thought deserts can't produce.
Yeah.
That is correct. Female deserts cannot lay eggs. That is a fact. Justin has published stuff about it. Females cannot produce. The males can still produce. And in our industry, aren't we already having a new issue with too many people producing animals that without too much thought into it? And now you have to move forward a project using only males. That's going to slow down your progress for sure. But now you have to put way more thought into your pairings and all of that. Yeah, I only move the project forward when I produce males, so it's and again, you sell the females off as pet only. It's great. It's great for the pet industry as more people don't produce animals. How important is it to keep fire extinguishers in your facility? I don't think it's that important per se. It is, however, legally we have to for our license. In order to have our pet dealer's license in Georgia, we need to have a fire extinguisher based on the square footage. I need to have 2 down in the basement. So we have 1 in each of the bigger rooms, and then I also have fire blankets, which in my opinion are better than the fire extinguishers. But yeah, legally we have to keep those.
And as a former firefighter paramedic, you can never have too many fire extinguishers handy. Let me tell you.
Always error on the side of caution with this stuff, guys. Right?
Right.
Bob's telling you
never
straight.
know.
Kyle's telling you, pay attention to your stuff. Check your heat. Right? Get in there and look at your wiring. Look at your stuff.
We don't anticipate fires in a snake room, but you never know. One of the racks could malfunction and it catches a piece of cocoa that's too dry. Anything could happen. A fire extinguisher within reach, 10 feet away from you. We have fire blankets, which in my opinion is not going to make a huge mess. Hopefully, again, I've never had to use it. Knock on wood, I never will have to use it. Yeah, just a little out of caution. Shaving my head. Next time someone donates another $1,000 to USARC, I do it every year. And someone will. Someone always donates $1,000 for me to shave my head. I do it every summer. It's just hair, man. It'll grow back.
Right?
For some people.
Well, don't tell Dredd that though.
Yeah, I think I shaved it in NERBC last Dallas. Yeah, because I went to Dallas bald. So it's been almost 6 months. So yeah, since Dallas.
So we keep this come through a couple of times. Starting off, how did you get your name out there? I mean, that was back when, but
yeah. So I went full time in 16, but in 16, 17, 18, we went full time just as in we produce enough animals to make a living. But in order to get out there and make yourself, I guess, a well-known breeder in the area, I vended 40 shows a year for 2 years straight.
Road warrior. Wow. And there's only 52 weekends in a year, so that is
so no matter where you went, somebody knew. Oh, that's Bob. That's
They're
Bob.
gonna see the
We
banner.
know.
They're gonna see they're gonna see me rolling up with a banner. I'll be honest, the Carolina guys did not enjoy seeing me coming up there that often. Here comes Bob again. And again, I just want to get my name out there. I want people to see my logo so many times. Okay, fine. Might as well go over and talk to him. Maybe go over there and buy a snake from him. Well, he's going to guarantee the animal's health. I see him every freaking show. These guys are going to stick around. 40 shows is wild. It was our 2017 was our craziest year. I took 1 weekend off a month. It was, again, I just gone full time. I just really want to get our name out there and make some money and prove to myself that I can do this. In 2019, I backed off the show some. And in 2020 with COVID, we backed off the shows down to almost 15 shows a year. And actually, I love that schedule so much. That's what I've been doing ever since.
nice.
Very nice. Okay.
Someone with the logo tattooed on him. Is it Creighton? I think it's
They
Creighton.
have your logo.
Well, I'm about to get my logo on this arm to match my sleeve on this arm. So
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have no tattoos. However, there are 12 people with my logo tattooed on them.
look, we'll logo this joker
12
up
people,
right now.
huh?
We'll logo this joker up right now.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we offered a 20% lifetime discount and $300 credit if anyone was going to get a tattoo of my logo on them. I figured there's going to be one person crazy enough.
Yeah, you know it.
Hey, I got someone local doing 3x5s for $30 this weekend. I think I might do it.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying, man, 20% lifetime discount. And Creighton has been amazing with us. He's been a great customer, friend, and all that, and everything. And when he got that piece done, I think it was on, it's a rib piece too. He got a rib piece done. And actually, he was at my birthday party. He ripped his shirt off. And one of my wife's friends that is not a reptile person was over there like, does that man have Bob's logo tattooed on him?
That's a good story.
I was like, well, yep. You see that correct.
This is
That is
awesome.
amazing. That is amazing. Well, brother, we don't want to take up your whole night. It's going on 9:30, 10 o'clock there. I'm sure you got to get up, rising and shine. So if you need to cut loose, we understand. We appreciate every minute you spent, sir. So it's up to you. If you want to take some more questions, if you need to cut bait and run, whatever you need to do.
What are the questions we got? My phone's actually dying soon anyway, so I'll take whatever questions you got.
Let's see. You guys better come up with something good.
Let's
What
see
you got
what's
the man
else
here?
rolling.
If not, I'm hopping in the shower, and then I'm gonna try this TikTok live thing one day. I mean, this looks like it works out pretty good. You had a decent flow the whole time. There's people coming in asking questions. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
man,
do
we
have
held good
Instagram
viewership
Live,
tonight. We held
Yeah,
40,
it's been
50
good.
the whole time. We've spiked to 80 as far as steady viewers. We'll get 600 or 800 total come through. And we go between, say, 30 to 105,000 likes any given week. And this is only our 6th week. So we keep it very formatted. We keep it very scheduled every Wednesday at 7. This week was special because I wanted you before you got tied up with the show. And I thought it would be a lot more exciting to talk about the Southeast Reptile Expo before it happened, to get you some publicity so you got something out of spending time with us and not just talk about it post-mortem.
Yeah.
So,
Pokey's asking right quick. He's asked about a dozen times, trying to steal my insight. What genes? That's always a hard one there. What genes should someone invest in future planning or trying to turn this into something? Did you see that?
Chocolate, paint?
Yeah, you
I
kind
will
of went
tell
over
you
that
this.
some.
I'll tell you this, especially if you're a new person, you invest in whatever you like, because
Right.
if you don't, you won't like it, and you're gonna get tired of it, and you're gonna buy a pair of DG clown head Azanthics from me, and then in 2 years you're gonna sell it back to me at 1/3 the price because you didn't like the project in the first place, and I will buy them back because you've already grown them out for me. But because it's my project, it's not your project. You didn't even like the project to start with. It was just something I liked. So invest in stuff you like. If not, I'm gonna end up buying it back from you anyways. Yeah, don't buy what I like,
Yeah.
guys. Just buy
Yeah.
what you like. And Riker, I think you asked how many problem animals we have a year. Out of we did 300 clutches last year. I want to say less than double digits, so maybe 8 or 9 animals either don't feed well, one eye. I think we had one with a kinked tail, and then I had a whole clutch go bad. But again, that's just could have been infertile. So stuff like that, those are just problem animals. But yeah. So invest in what you like, guys. If you guys don't mind giving me about 2 minutes here to spill about the show real quick before I hop off.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everything you need. Go for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So September 14th and 15th, guys, Atlanta, Georgia, at the Georgia International Convention Center. It's right next to the airport, very easily to get to. You can take MARTA, it takes you right there. If you want to book a hotel, straight on our website, Southeast Reptile Expo, there's a hotel link. You can get discounted hotels from there. Our vendor list is on there. It's over 120 vendors. We have some of the best in the country coming out. Basically, if they're the top notch in the industry, I've already reached out to them to vend our show. It'll be a great show. You guys are going to come out and have a good time. And if you go ahead and order your tickets online, guys. Skip the line. That way, when you get there, you don't have to wait in line to get in. Just get your tickets online. We'll scan it and let you in. No VIP. It opens at 10 o'clock. Also, shout out to my Patreon. I know we have a few members that are on here right now. I saw Creighton on earlier. I saw Marie on earlier, Michelle. So my Patreon, if you guys are looking for a Patreon to hop onto, 100% of all the money you spend with us goes right back to you in snakes. And it's actually just a great community place. Everyone just goes on there and hangs out in the Discord and just chats all day. It does get a little overwhelming. I'll tell you that. It will get a little overwhelming because they are in there constantly. If you don't hop on for 2 days, you might miss 200 messages. And it's okay. Just scroll right past them and just move on. It's not a big deal. I miss hundreds of messages when I'm at shows. Just keep scrolling. Great people in there. It's about 100 members. I don't try to advertise it a ton because I can't manage more than 100 and something members.
Right.
I give everyone their one-on-ones and, ID stuff for people. So we do have a few slots open if anyone's looking for a Patreon to join. And to find out more about the industry overall, we have the free membership too. If you want to hop on for a few weeks just to test it out and make a decision. If not, I will see you in Dallas next week. And after that, Southeast Reptile Expo in Atlanta, and then the weekend after that, Charlotte National. God dang it! It's called the I know this name, the AARPE, All American Reptile and Plant Expo. Yes.
Yeah. I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have 3 shows back to back, which I have not done in over 3 years. I haven't done a 3 back-to-back-to-back in a while. So it's going to be a little challenging, guys. So if you message me and I don't respond, that is why.
So that just means they need to go see you in person, get in the car, get there, and get an animal from you.
That's
Stop
right.
the messages. Just go see Bob at a show. You got 3 shots in a row.
3
Guys,
shots. If you're
standing
within
ovation,
1,000 miles,
right?
make your
Bob
way out.
deserves a standing ovation. Get the claps in, guys. Bob deserves every bit of it.
Man, I
Promote
sure
the show.
appreciate you making time for us, brother. I really do.
Right.
I'm looking forward to meeting you down in Dallas. I'm going to make that drive. I'm going to get down there. And I can't wait to see what's going on. And I'm really trying to get my ducks in a row to make it to Atlanta as well, sir. So thank you so much for taking the time out tonight.
Yes, thank you very much, Bob, for hanging out with
guys.
us.
We'll see you guys. Hopefully see you in Dallas and then again in Atlanta. Thank you,
You
guys.
bet, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening,
Bye-bye.
bud.
Yeah, thank you. I actually don't know how to log off, so I'm going to try.
Just
Okay.
there he is. You got to hit the X up there.
There you go. I got it. There you go.
Yeah, and then
Hey, guys, Bob's in the shower. Turn off.
woo, dude.
Well, that was pretty awesome. I mean, that was really, really great and different than last night. Like cross lines, Kyle came in. They covered some of the same topics, but we didn't wear them out. Like really good, and I'm really happy with the way the conversation went. What do you guys think?
Dude, success. Everybody down here is loving it, man. This was a great show. Success. He covered a lot of good topics. He showed a whole lot of cool ass snakes.
He's so good at like talking on camera. And
Yeah,
being a
he's
presenter.
an entertainer. He's good at it. It's easy for him. Yeah, this is perfect. Talked about the expo a lot, so that hopefully that gives him some traction there. I would love to. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to repost some of these.
We're trying to. I can pull down the entire file of these lives.
It's just a lot. It's a big file.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something with editing, and my goal is to get them on the YouTube so we can all go back and enjoy them ongoing. That is in the works. We're talking about it. We're trying to get that done. I don't know, man.
We got to get together on that and try to figure something. But guys, but listen, any questions you got, y'all know, ask us. Go right to the source. Message Kyle, message Bob, IG, TikTok, Facebook, wherever they got their social media. Send them messages. These guys will get back to you. Yeah, who's all going to Dallas? I asked that a few times, Northside. Because Strictly, I think, is going to make Dallas.
Yep, Tack
I'm
Boss.
looking in. We're looking to see if I can make it. Tack Boss is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people in Dallas.
So if me and Dredd both convene from different time zones into Dallas, well, I'm in the same time zone, never mind. But if he comes my way into the central part of the country, we're going to do, I think we're going to do a dual screen live for a good long time. We're going to bring battery packs for our phones, so we each have our own camera, and we're going to tour that show in Dallas.
And then the other naughties will be there. See, it'll be a damn hangout.
We're going to meet friends. We're going to see Bob. We're going to see Justin of Ozark Mountain Morphs. I like that dude. I rap with him all the time. He's got some great stuff. So I think if we can get it together, we're going to do an awesome live on a Saturday for Dallas. Is kind of the plan.
Yeah, she's looking into it. It's not going to be cheap this quick, so she's looking into it. If we can, but we'll see. Huh? She said she already bought it.
No!
I guess we'll see when I show. I guess we'll see when I show up.
You better text me when you're going to the airport so I know where to take my Nissan Versa. Come pick you up. Beep beep.
Huh?
It's gonna be about. No, I just priced the tickets.
Oh, she priced it.
$700.
Oh no!
Because looking today, because it's next week, $700
For a round trip ticket.
for round trip, but I got to go to LAX.
Yeah, I gotta take him to LAX and pick him up from LAX.
Yeah, so I hate it.
Oh, now I'm sad.
But
I have a Versa. Don't LMFAO at the Versa. I get great gas mileage. Thank you very much. And I bought it new. It runs like a top.
I'm scared to get on a freaking airplane.
Because there's like he could ride Spirit for
I don't do good with a lot. I don't know.
Okay, that was American or Delta. He could ride Spirit or like a Frontier Mormon line for.
I mean, you live in the
300.
Southwest, and there happens to be an airline called Southwest that has really great fares. Buy it from them. Don't go through Kayak or some crap. Go to SouthwestAirlines.com. Try that. Just saying.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Greyhound. Yeah, he'll get there 3
Yeah,
weeks
I'll get
from
there.
now.
Southwest.
2 weeks.
Southwest doesn't have a flight on this on the 5th, 6th.
Well, either way, we'll see.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna
I
figure this
had
out.
him flying in, like, because I have to drive him to LA.
You know what? You know what,
And it has to
PJs?
be good time, so it can't go. And I told him, I said, I think it would be good for him. To
PJs,
go.
it's funny you say that because I got a golden gummy right here.
What's that kind of party? The nowadays in the naughty business.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. The naughties has got our back, right?
So this
All
was
our
an awesome
naughties out
show.
there. Yeah.
Did everybody survive having 2 shows this week? I mean, it was a lot, but it was a lot of video editing on my end. Oh my God, I had to make so many videos. But
Tack, I'll be flying it'll be from
awesome.
probably LAX to Dallas, DFW, because Bakersfield, BFL doesn't have a direct to DFW.
thanks,
It was
Chaz.
more exhausting for you, I'm sure.
Thanks, Jess. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys hanging with us.
All the babies.
We still got
are
27
born.
people hanging on. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for showing Bob all the love
Who is this, Moose?
he deserves.
Moose is
That was good, man. That
We're
went
gonna
super
keep. This
good.
was better than I could have expected. So we'll keep it going, guys. Y'all keep coming through on Wednesdays. Give us some ideas, right? Shoot ideas at us, right? Shoot people that in mind. We want some big time, different species, whatever. What you know,
Yep.
not
We're looking
always
for-
the same. If y'all know good venomous people, whatever it is, zookeepers, bat keepers,
Thanks,
alligator
PJs.
keepers, we don't care. Right, we'll check it out and see if it's somebody that'll fit the.
We are
fit the
looking for
line, fit the show.
varied backgrounds. Yes.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, different. So yeah, we're not.
Maddie, we just had a boa. We just had Patrick on. We will do more boas.
Yeah,
I can
we'll
tell
do
you-
more
I can
boa
tell you
stuff.
this. I can tell you who, not names, but I will tell you some of the categories coming. We do have Frog Daddy next Wednesday. Alex, poison dart frogs. It's going to be amazing. He is a college professor and just super smart guy. But we got green tree python people. What else do we have going? We've got advanced beyond vets, but like advanced super doctor vets coming on. We got multidiscipline emerald tree boas and other keeping another person similar like Casey keeping multiple species and really working out how you can juggle a lot of different types of animals and make them thrive, bioactive. We've got colubrid. We got a really big colubrid person lined up. So we've got some other things coming. We've got some great ball python people that are still in a different niche than what we've done so far. So we've got some really cool stuff. We're booking November.
We want to
guys.
keep a variety out there. So right,
We're booking
keep it
November.
different, so it's not always the same. We'll look at his stuff, guys. Just send us these messages to Constrictly or myself, and then we'll look at them and see if they fit what we're looking for. And
Yeah, exotic. I have 3 separate green tree python people, and they are not small timers. Let me
Yeah.
just tell you that. Emerald
Yeah.
tree boa, yeah, I got some of that too.
so
That's colubrid.
vets and colubrid, yeah.
We got some stuff. We are looking for iguana people, retic burn people, advanced cresties or gargs. We're looking for monitor. Again, we're looking for people much bigger than us that we're trying to get, some knowledge out of and share with everybody.
That's what we're trying to do. So y'all hear it here firsthand. It's what the Naughty Business Show is about, bringing just all different, reptile keepers and professionals to the hobby or to the show and sharing them with you guys.
We're
like I
lucky.
said, we got the IG, like we got the guest account. So if people are on IG that can't we can get them on the guest account. So
Oh yeah, we have a specialty boa person coming up from IG. Not Emerald, but she, she does have emeralds, in fact, but she does some other pretty wild species that are not widespread. That's going to be an interesting show.
yeah, so things are
off.
coming.
Okay.
Good things are coming. Good things are coming. Right, we're looking for ideas for the Halloween show. Things are coming. We're booked out all the way up until
Good things
almost
are
Halloween.
here. They're already
There she
here.
is.
Good things are here.
Well, dude, I think we should wrap this up, and you can spend time with baby girl there. And
Hi, Mike. All
We
right,
can,
everybody. All the love. Thanks for
We'll-
coming in and hanging
we'll
out.
get
two
we'll
nights
get
this
together.
week.
We'll get together and hang out this weekend. Right, all the love to all you guys out there, all our supporters. Y'all know that, right? Big air hugs from Dread to you guys. So
And next weekend, some way, somehow, you're getting some Dallas live. So just get ready for Frog Daddy, Poison Dart Frogs, stuff you never knew of, and then Dallas, baby. We're going all
go.
over.
boom,
All right, love you guys.
Bye.
bye.